When Meredith was first born, she had an extra digit on her toe, and they said, oh, that probably, can be removed. But then she was also very rigid, so they sent us to Children's Hospital in Philadelphia.
Meredith was born with partial trisomy 13, which is she has an extra piece of the 13th chromosome, which has caused her to be severely handicapped. As a part of Meredith's condition, she has a seizure disorder. So she may need to be resuscitated, or she needs 24-hour nursing care.
The prognosis was not real good. She probably wouldn't survive infancy, but here she is 26 years later.
Marianne is my firstborn daughter. She's 31 years old. She's the love of my life. Marianne has dark hair, blue eyes. She looks just like her father. She has a great sense of humor. When Marianne was about a year and a half, she began to stumble a little bit. She had picked up words already by that time in her life. We noticed that she wasn't picking them up anymore, and then she'd begun to lose some of the words that she already had. She had begun to have seizures, other medical difficulties, and that's when we found the retreat. And to this day, I will tell anyone it was the most difficult decision in my life ever to have to decide as a young mother, as a parent, to say, I can't care for my child anymore on a day-to-day basis, but I still have to be involved on day-to-day decisions, and that's what the retreat has done for me.
The Eastern Christian Children's Retreat provides residential and day program services for individuals with a wide variety of developmental disabilities, ranging from people who are able to go out to work every day to people who need 24-hour care, who aren't able to feed themselves, to dress themselves, to do any of the basic daily living skills for themselves, and who need a lot of medical intervention.
We have a unique population. We have children and adults, quite a variety of ages with quite a variety of different issues, different health issues, different physical as well as psychological issues.
We are an organization that's been around for over 33 years, and our residents have grown from little children to adults who are aging, so their medical needs and their physical needs have increased significantly through the years.
I was living with my parents for 42.5 years, and it's wonderful and a blessing the time that we had, but if it wasn't for the retreat, we wouldn't have this freedom to feel that we have a place of our own.
Elsie has grown in many ways. She's learned to do a lot on her own, and she's learned to be more independent.
I volunteer myself at Eastern Christian Children's Retreat from the very start because I feel like God has provided for me, and it's my way of saying thank you.
It's important for Elsie as well as the other residents to work just to maintain their self-worth, and you could see it, how happy they are with themselves.
I'm very, very grateful to God that there's people that care. I think that's the most important thing. Not that it's just a job, but that they have their heart in it.
There you go. Good job.
90% of the people who live here are on a positioning program. And that, of course, means that we have to build the equipment to put the people on, because a lot of it's just plain not available. We primarily want to get people to be as independent as they possibly can be, as mobile as they possibly can be.
ECCR seems like the perfect environment for Meredith to be living in. She has advocates here, she has support, social interaction. She goes out with other residents here and participates, in whether it's baseball games, they go to see concerts, shows. So she has the opportunity to interact with other residents as well as outside community members.
I think that the families have a sense of well-being and a sense of comfort in having their child cared for here.
The impact on parents is basically, I think it's a tremendous relief for them to have some place that they can not only place their child, but feel that it's a good placement, that it's something that is good for the child and it's good for the rest of the family.
You know, when we started, we went to the state and asked for permission, and they would always say to me and to this other nurse, many people try to build an institution like this and they failed. You're foolish to go in with it. Well, my brother was instrumental. He'd say, keep going and stop talking about it. Stop talking about the state won't help you and this person won't help you. Just keep plugging. And she and I did. We kept plugging, and I can't say we succeeded, and God showed us that this was possible.
My responsibility here at the retreat would be to assure that original intent of the founders for this special care for the residents be continued, to watch over its financial needs, to watch over the staffing, to watch over its spiritual needs.
I would say that the spiritual aspect, the spiritual development, really impacts every part of their lives. You can see people growing just as we would grow in different actions, different practices, different ways that we think, different ways that we act.
Emotionally, Marion is thriving more than she's ever did in her entire life. She's sharper than she's ever been. She's more creative than she's ever been. She just speaks a different language than the rest of us. And her dad and I and the staff here, we all speak that same language with her.
We want to create an enjoyable environment, a happy environment, just like everybody else would have in their own home, but at the same time an environment where they can receive safe, efficient medical care.
There are very few places like us in the state of New Jersey, and we do realize that there are thousands of people on a waiting list looking for services. So we would like to be able to expand what we do, either in a group home setting or a day program setting, to be able to accommodate more individuals.
When Marion came to the retreat 24 years ago, the lifespan expectancy of Rett syndrome was 8, 9, 10 years old. That's what we were told. Then it was 14, 15 years old. And you know what? Because of the care that Marion's gotten here, just day-to-day care, medical care, the loving care, she's 31 years old and she just keeps going. Every day is a gift. I can't imagine where Marion would be if we didn't have, it's not just the building, if we didn't have this extended family for her.